going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Backstage Slam Wrestling Podcast. My name is Ben, and what a stressful weekend it has been thus far. After such a promising week, man, I gotta tell you, here's the current situation, folks. By the time this episode gets uploaded to the internet, Josh and the ladies will most likely, and I'm willing to bet $5 on it, would have most likely already have recorded or have streamed BSP episode 216 live. But it's already 6 p.m. my time, midnight East Coast. It's already 2 hours past the normal time that we would normally record a podcast together for the BSP. And the reason why that I wasn't on episode 216 is because my freaking internet has been out for over 8 hours. And it's the third Saturday in the last 5 weeks where my internet has been out all day. It's getting to the point where we might have to swap our internet out from Spectrum to Hawaiian Telecom or something. I don't know. But Spectrum has not been reliable. In fact, our TV, not whenever the internet goes out, our cable box goes out. So it's a double whammy. And it's been really peeing off my entire family this whole week. Or should I say the last couple of weeks. And every time we call our internet cable provider, they're like, oh, everything's working fine on our end. We don't have any reports of downtime or outages in your area. Well, you know what? Maybe we get a faulty cable box, or we got a faulty modem. Sure, why don't we schedule an appointment and we'll send a technician out there and we'll go ahead and swap out your box. No charge needed. Okay, well, 2 modem swaps later, and we still got the same issues going on. So, yeah, something is up. But anyway, this is episode number 217. My name is Ben, and guess what? This episode, I wanted to kind of break the news in episode 216, but I'm gonna have to do it on my own episode. Because I don't know when the internet's gonna come back for this to get uploaded. But yeah, I kind of wanted to drop some updates to everybody because ya boy is got his PC back to working into production mode again. I was able to replace my video card that died, and ended up getting a brand new video card. Same brand, just a different one. This one is the RTX 2070 that I had before was an overclocked version, and it was a big boy. It was really beefy, and unfortunately, I got a cheap. I went with the cheapest motherboard, so. Yeah, needless to say, I don't know what happened, but my 6-month-old video card ended up dying. The video card that I got at the beginning of the year, right before the coronavirus happened, in fact. That video card died. I ended up getting the same brand because, for those of you guys know Tech Limbo, or, know about computer technology. Asus is a very reliable brand, so I ended up getting a non-overclocked version of the RTX 2070. And I got it for cheaper than the overclocked one by at least $200. So, um, well, it's not brand new; it's used, but it said the condition was great, and it is. It is in great condition. The person only had this card for only 8 months, and then they ended up upgrading to the new RTX 3000 series. So I was very thankful. I had to sell in order to get this. I had to pull all of my Patreon funds, all of the funds I had just hanging out on Twitch, and I also had to sell some comic books and trading cards at my let's just say I sold over $300 worth of collection items. And not gonna lie, I did kind of I got misty eyed because I had to let go of my limited edition Michael Jordan card. Um, you know, as someone who is trying to live out their dreams by working from home, it's a slow process. It takes a lot of dedication and time investment, as well as some financial investment. You need the gear you need to create content from home. It takes a while to generate revenue and interest in your content to get to the point where you're able to make ends meet and pay rent. Just from work doing online content creation. And since April, or should I say May of this year, I wasn't able to do that. I was stuck. Luckily, my motherboard and CPU from AMD, there's already a built-in graphics, should I say graphics chip, a GPU built into the CPU. So I didn't really need a dedicated graphics card, but I just got one because I was able to get it. But I haven't been able to do any live streams for since May, and I haven't been able to do recordings and all that because just running off of the CPU alone with the built-in graphics, rendering was near impossible because it drove the heat within my PC case too high, to the point I would blue screen and my PC would shut off and restart due to overheating. But now that we got the video card and everything's fixed, your boy can do stuff like this. Oh yeah, the soundboard is back. And yeah, so we're going to be doing live streams again, not just video games, but hopefully we're going to be doing more should I say more videos and stuff. I've been trying to retool my YouTube channel, and man, that you guys know what's going on with that whole DMCA thing. Everybody is basically scrubbing their Twitch and YouTube channels of clips and highlights that may have copyrighted music on it. Just a couple of days ago, I deleted like 10 years worth of archive footage because I know I was playing music on a lot of my videos. And yeah, I don't want to pay any fines, anything. It's better to just scrap everything and start fresh at the current status that you are at than to get in trouble and possibly, pay a massive fine. But it's not just hitting the big content creators, it's also hitting the little guys too. So, but anyway, we got back in the working order. I haven't been able to talk to Josh. I did message him on Discord 2 days ago. He hasn't gotten back to me yet because I know he's busy working. But um, I want to, now that I got my computer back up in working order and my equipment can now finally be fully utilized because my computer can easily handle it now. I want to do more podcasts. I want to do more live streams. So I was thinking multiple Backstage Slam episodes. Whenever there's a Backstage Slam, whenever there is big breaking news in pro wrestling, I want to be able to record, even if it's a 10, 15, 20-minute podcast and just talk about that. Just put more content, just keep throwing content out there. Even if there's only like less than 10 people that click the download or click the like button, or 10 people listen to it, just keep churning out content. I want to be able to get back to how we were back in 2018, which was BSP's best year. I think we were doing not just a podcast, but we were doing like we were doing Raw and SmackDown and NXT reviews. During that year, we were putting at least 4 to 5 pieces of content on the channel a week in the entire 2018. That was when we had Michael from the UK. That was part of the BSP hosting crew. I would like to get back that way. I have spoken to one of our Patreon supporters and my buddy Kevin, who I went to high school with. He is interested in jumping on the show with me, and we were thinking about doing a BSP episode during the weekdays, in the late afternoon. So we'll still have the weekend shows with Josh and the ladies, of course. But I kind of wanted to do more than just one podcast. Now that I got everything, and now the motivation is back to just like, go full gear. Speaking of full gear, you know what? Let's talk about Full Gear. Alright, Full Gear, AEW's second edition of their pay-per-view extravaganza, Full Gear 2020, will be happening next Saturday on November 7th, 2020. Not going to be giving any predictions. We're going to be saving that for next week's show. But it looks like we got the entire card, or most of the card. I think they might add one more match to this card. But we currently got 8 matches on this card. 7 matches on the main card. 1 on the pre-show. So let's start with that. We got Orange Cassidy taking on John Silver, or 4 of the Dark Order. Singles match that will be taking place in the pre-show. The main card are as follows in no particular order. Chris Jericho versus MJF. Maxwell Jacob Friedman. It's a singles match. There's a stipulation. If MJF wins, he is allowed to join the Inner Circle. And boy, I really want to talk about this. I wish I could have talked about this with the group, with the gang tonight. But I think since next Friday, we're going to be doing the predictions, because this is a huge pay-per-view with huge future story implications. My tinfoil hat is going to have to be put aside for another 6 days. I can't wait to talk about this. But Chris Jericho versus MJF. If MJF wins, he is allowed to join the Inner Circle. Hikaru Shida defending the AEW Women's Championship against Nyla Rose in a rematch. And Vicky Guerrero will be with Nyla Rose this time. This match has been on a slow burn build-up for the last 3 months. Coming up next is the Elite Deletion match. A match that I heard will be filmed off and on throughout the week this week. And we got Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara. This is the big blow off match between Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara. So again, Elite Deletion match, and I believe it is a pre-recorded cinematic match, kind of like the what do you call that? The Stadium Stampede. Maybe that sort of style. We have the AEW World Tag Team Championship match. Man, my notes is so messy. FTR taking on the Young Bucks with another massive stipulation. Again, I have to put my tinfoil hats aside. But if the Young Bucks lose, they will never challenge for the AEW World Tag Team Championships ever again. Again, something like this has happened before. Cody did it for the AEW World title, and Cody can never challenge for the AEW World title. That's one thing about AEW is whenever they set a stipulation, oh boy, you know they mean it. They mean it. So can't wait to talk about that. Singles match for the AEW TNT Championship. Cody in a rematch against Darby Allin. Not looking forward to this as much because we already seen these. I think this is the third time these two guys are wrestling each other. But it should be an interesting one. I do see outside interference happening in this match. It looks like the Dark Order is not finished with Cody, and it looks like Team Taz is nowhere near done finished with Darby Allin. So I expect a full-on overbooking mayhem in this match. And then we have the co-main event. It is for the AEW World Championship Eliminator Tournament Final. The winner gets a shot at the AEW World Championship at a future event of their choosing. Hangman Adam Page versus Kenny Omega. This is going to be my low-key match of the night. Or should I say, not low-key. This will be the match of the night. But I don't think this is going to be the final time that these two guys will fight. I think these guys will have a mini series where Kenny will end up coming out on top. And finally, the AEW World Championship match. Jon Moxley defending against Eddie Kingston in an I Quit match. Really looking forward to it. But yeah, I don't want to get into predictions. That's going to be next week's show. But yeah, I really wanted to do that because I really wanted to talk about AEW. Because, man, it's been a while since I've been able to just vent out my frustrations on pro wrestling. Guys, currently I'm in a WWE boycott. I am not watching any WWE for the rest of this year. Okay? Today is Halloween. Tomorrow's November 1st. We still got 2 whole months left in what is arguably the worst year in my 36 years of existence because of the stupid coronavirus. We still got 2 months. And I already have not been watching Raw and SmackDown for the last 3 months. I've caught maybe 3 episodes of Raw and 2 episodes of SmackDown in 3 months live. And the rest I've been keeping up on YouTube. I'm going to continue to, take a look at all the YouTube clips just so that I can at least follow along what's going on in the shows. But I refuse to put myself through boredom and stress Because don't get me wrong, it's not like I hate WWE. It's just that I love pro wrestling and I don't like it when the product could be just so much more better. I don't feel that way when I watch AEW. The worst I feel about AEW is like, ooh, that was cringy. And then bam, the rest of the show is awesome. And the reason, and you know what? I hate to say this, but other than let me see. Other than this past Wednesday's Halloween Havoc, which was really, really good. It was cringy, but in a very campy way for me. NXT and the last three takeovers we had this year, it's not that intriguing to me. There has been like a fundamental change. And we talked about this on the podcast. I think Vince McMahon has got his dirty hands all over NXT production. Because you can't keep blaming the coronavirus and everything, but ever since WWE locked themselves at the Performance Center, man, the quality of NXT, it's just not what it was pre-pandemic. Not what it was. And yeah, I've only watched NXT maybe not counting the episode we had 2 days ago, which by the way outdrew AEW by 100,000, by almost 100,000 viewers. So NXT got their 5th victory in like 30 weeks in overall viewership, which is good for them because it was Halloween. But here's the thing: whenever NXT beat AEW, most of the episodes that ended up beating AEW did it because they either had all the titles on the line on that episode of NXT, or basically threw on a pay-per-view match, or they took like the Great American Bash and Halloween Havoc and not Bash at the Beach, but something else. You know, they took old WCW pay-per-view names because they own the rights to it, and they use it as an episode, a tagline episode for NXT. And they loaded those cards up in basically what was a free takeover on USA Network. It's kind of strange. A lot of people was like, oh my god, see, t-shirt company trash, AEW, haha, you got beat by Halloween Havoc, you know, kick grass, AEW. I'm like, do you guys not realize how much extra effort that they had to go through in order to beat AEW? Because next week, I tell you something. When AEW has 850K people next week for their go home show for AEW Full Gear, AEW spanks NXT the episode before the pay-per-view and the episode after their pay-per-views. And AEW only has 4 pay-per-views per year. So, yeah. I mean, it's going to... I boycott WWE, including NXT. I just catch NXT. There's so much injuries on NXT. The women's division is kind of stale because there isn't that much going on with the challengers. It seems like they don't want to lose Io Shirai to the main roster. But because there's like so much injuries on both the men and women's side in NXT, storylines are getting ruined. Programs, big time programs, are getting ruined. And I'm going to tell you guys something. some of the champions we got right now in NXT, they're not supposed to be the current champions. And it's all thanks to injuries. But yeah, I mean that's just that. I mean, right now the best wrestling ever since New Japan Pro Wrestling came back, New Japan has been killing it. Kota Ibushi is the G1 Climax winner. I think he will be putting the briefcase up or the contract up at least once. Wrestle Kingdom will be 2 nights again this year. So it'll be interesting. It will be very interesting. But New Japan and AEW have been killing it lately. Impact has been pretty good too. I actually took a chance and watched the last 2 episodes of Impact Wrestling. I love it. I actually watched Bound for Glory. I think it was it Slammiversary or Bound for Glory? It was the most recent pay-per-view. It was basically their WrestleMania. And it was a pretty good pay-per-view. It was like I was watching a decent episode of WWE Raw, which didn't happen since 2016. Not that. WWE's gone completely to crap. The best thing they got going for them right now is Roman Reigns is a heel. I got to watch the pay-per-view, but it was just Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. That's the only thing that I've been keeping track of, is how are they treating Roman Reigns' heel turn. And they also, last night, they turned Jey Uso heel. So he aligned himself with the tribal chief Roman. Man, that was awesome. Imagine what they could have done if they did this in 2017. Roman would be bigger than John Cena as a babyface right now. He would be the biggest thing ever. But no, we're going to have to wait till 2022 or 2023. When Cena was a heel and Rock was a heel, and then as soon as they turned babyface, boom. Massive pop in popularity. Roman is the best thing in WWE, and all they had to do was turn him heel. Vince should have listened to Josh and I in the second year of the podcast. Oh, man. But yeah, next week we're going to be predicting AEW Full Gear. I can't wait. Hopefully they get at least one more match on the main card. Can't wait to watch that Saturday. If the internet is working. Man, I'm going to be so mad if it isn't working. But yeah, also more updates. Sorry, I had to throw it. It is a wrestling podcast. I had to talk some wrestling. I cut myself off in the update. So my computer is back working. I got a video card. I updated and installed all the updates to DaVinci and Sony Vegas. Well, it's a very, very old Sony Vegas 11. I think they're on version 16 by now. But yeah, I got my video production software working again. I actually tested it out with the video card. It works. Everything's good. And yeah, we're back in business. We're going to be doing Twitch live streams. I finally get to play Genshin Impact, a video game that is just like Zelda Breath of the Wild. I get to play that on stream for you guys a little bit. I kind of reached the near end game. They're going to be putting out a huge content patch out in a couple of days, so I can't wait for that. And my cousin and his friends made a 7 Days to Die server, so I can't wait to jump into their server and play some 7 Days to Die. But I think within the next half an hour or so. I don't know if you guys can hear my dog barking, but the kids have started to trick or treat. You know, it's it's already 6:30. So I'm gonna have to end the podcast there because I know my pops doesn't want to keep giving out candy. He gets annoyed. So with that said, we're back. Expect more content. I'm going to be doing Korean dramas, K-pop stuff, a lot of K-pop stuff on my revamped channel. I'm probably going to start a video log series as well. And yeah, go ahead and follow us on Twitter at SkitComic for Joshua. You can follow me at YoBroMMO. Please continue supporting us on Patreon. We're only asking for just $3 a month. Tier 1 is now $3 instead of $1 because of the new tax system. Creators are not getting as much now. Patreon is taking more tax money. So I had to raise it from $1 tier 1 to $3 tier 1. So it's now $3, $5, $9, and $20 for tiers 1, 2, 3, and 4. Please, please, if you are able to, continue your patronage. Go ahead and support us at patreon.com/YoBroMMO. Follow me on Twitch for my video gameplay at twitch.tv/YoBroMMO. And I don't know when this episode is gonna get uploaded, but yeah, you guys can thank Josh and I for putting out 2 episodes this week, episode 216 and 217. Thank you for joining us this week, and 2 sweet, everybody.